Kelly. So I'm doing things a little different today. I'm recording this in the morning time because tonight I've got a basketball game to go to with my sons. So I figured most everybody's been watching these just at their leisure when it works best for them. So I'm going to just do it as a live and we'll post it this evening for you to watch when you can. So I'm super excited about today's project. Today's project, we are going to be doing a large adult shirt. Y'all, this is the cutest back to school item. I adore this. And I'm super excited because I'm going to make today's project for my nephew who is going into kindergarten this year. So it's like the most ideal time to have this. So what these are, I don't know if you've seen this trend or seen, people taking pictures of items, at the beginning of the school year and posting them on Facebook. But this is taking an adult large shirt and putting on it class of whatever year they are going to graduate. So for instance, and I will put in the comments a really cool tool that I found that you can type in what grade they're going into for the upcoming school year, and it will let you know what year you need to choose. Because I was like doing math. I'm like, okay, kindergarten for second, third, okay, 2021, 2022. And that can be really confusing. And I certainly didn't want to make the wrong one. But anyway, so you choose the year that they're going to graduate. So what the child will do, you'll take a picture. I've got some tape stuck to it. You'll take a picture the first day of kindergarten, before they head to school with this huge shirt, right? Have this huge shirt on. And then every single year, the first day of school, you'll take a picture with this same shirt. And it is so, oh my goodness, it is so precious to see how much they basically grow into this shirt. So all the way up until they're in high school and graduating in the class of 2034. Such a cute idea. I don't know who started this trend, but it is adorable. So literally, they will wear this shirt each year. Some people hold up signs. We've already done a back to school banner, first day of school banner, but this is just a precious photo just to show how much your child is growing through the years and to compare that kindergartner and this shirt next to, your high school senior. Oh, this makes me tear up. Y'all, my son who's going into 8th grade is already 5'8". So, that just tells you how quickly they grow up. He's 13 years old and he's already 2 inches taller than me and I'm not short. So, really cool to see them grow. So this is so fun. So, I don't think we've done an applique shirt yet together. It's like one of the most basic things that is important to know how to do. So I love that we're going to be working on this together. Now, there was lots of different fabric that was sent in your supply box for you to do just kind of whatever, and you be creative with how you use it. You can use some of the fabric pieces, the swatches that I sent to make your numbers, or you can just choose some fabric that you already have on hand, because you guys, I know you all have fabric on hand. Some of the fabric swatches you can use for next week when we'll be doing bag tags, which are really fun to use for back to school as well. So I decided I'm going to make this look very primary color, and I went and just kind of perused. All my fabric is sorted by colors. So I went and just got some primary colors because I think that's fun for school. I picked up a navy, an orange, a yellow, and a red, and I think that's just going to look super cute. And I'm actually going to do each letter a different color. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to pull up the design, and I will link the design below. This is an should talk to you here. This is an itch to stitch design. They have every single year. You can either go back in years because they've been doing this for a while, and forward in years. They have a ton on there. So let me pull this up real quick. I've already loaded my colors up here since I chose yellow, navy, orange, and red. I've got yellow, navy, orange, and red, and then I've got black for the little hat there. And I was thinking I was going to do green for class of and for William. Maybe black for William. We'll see. But so this is for my nephew. All right, so let's go all the way down here, find my William. All right. Rotate that. I'm going to have to make my hoop size a bit bigger all the way out to the edges there. So it will recognize that. All right. I wanted to double check because yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure that each number was done where you could pick a different color. So it looks like that possibly is the case, or maybe not. Maybe I need to do each. Oh, let's see. Um, it does 20, 34 placement, tack down, and oh, okay, so it does them all together. So maybe my change of plans. If you have a design like this and you want to make them different colors, you can do that. But you got to take it back into your system over here. So I actually want to show you how this works. So I am going to bring my camera over here and show you how this works. So here we go. I didn't realize that. I should have looked into it before. I just assumed that I was going to be able to choose, you know, how that works. Okay, I'm trying not to put my, okay, I can put my hand all over. So I'm going to put my USB back into my computer here, and then I'm going to flip the screen and show you how you can put stops into your embroidery on Embrilliance. So let's see, let me flip it. Flip and stay there. Okay, so you can see right here, I've already got it pulled up. And what we're going to do, I don't know, have you guys ever done this? It's so cool to be able to do it. Make sure you can see it. There's my ring light. That's okay. So when you go up here to Embrilliance, I know this isn't the best view, but since we're on here live, this button right here that I just clicked on, it's going to show you at the top up here all the different. Okay. Sorry, my internet was, I started with a new internet. This is doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know why it's logging on to all this. So anyway, I'm sorry. We've got all the different color stops that are up here. And what you can do is you can start at the very beginning. So I can pull this little toolbar. Man, I keep touching. Y'all, I swear to you, my touch screen doesn't work, but it is working now. So I can slide it across and it's going to start at the very beginning. So you can see it does that first and it's showing you that in red. That is going to be the tack down. And then it goes into the placement and it goes over each one of those. And then it goes into the satin stitch. What's also cool about this design is I'm just going to keep I'm pulling the wrong thing. I'm just going to keep pulling it so you can see how it makes it. And you can speed this up, slow this down. I'm just sliding it. So the next it goes into class of, then it does our little hat, then it does his name on the bottom. So I want to actually make stops for this. So I'm going to come back to the beginning and I'm going to follow it through this letter. Okay, once it jumps to the second letter, I'm going to say stop. So right here, stop. I inserted a stop. And I'm going to change the color so the machine knows it has to stop. I'm just going to do a little gray here and say, okay. So we're going to come back to the beginning again. We're doing the 2, and then it does the 0. And when it's done with the 0, I'm just lightly going until I see it jump to the next one. It jumped to the next one. So now I'm going to say stop. I'm going to pick another color, doesn't matter what, because these are not the colors that I'm actually going to stitch it, right? So I picked another color and I said, okay. All right, we're going to come back. So you can see the colors, you know, or stops are becoming more there. So we've got our 2, now we've got our 0, and we've got our next one that's going as our 3. And I'm going to make sure I get back to right before, and we're going to hit stop. So I'm going to pick another color here. Again, it doesn't matter what color. All right, so we've got another stop up here. We're going to have to do this several times, you guys, because we're going to have to do it for all 4. So we've got that letter, or I'm sorry, number, and then 4. And then it's going to jump into the tack down stitch. So once it finishes that letter, it's harder to see, I know, for you guys. I'm going to, oh, it's going over it twice. Okay, I like when they go over it twice. I think Itch to Stitch always does. there's twice. So I'm just trying to speed through that until it gets to the 0. You're hearing my click, 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 because they're small because it goes quickly when it's just doing an outline like that. All right, it jumped to the next one. So we're going to say stop. I'm going to pick another color. I'm going to say okay. And then we're going to do it all over again. All right, once it goes over the 2, now it's jumped to the 0 in a different color. And then I'm going to say I went too far, so I got to go back. I'm going to say stop. Pick a different color. Say okay. Now we're going to go 0, 0, 3, 4, 2, 0, 3. And we're going to, again, assign it a different color. And say stop. Pick just a random color. All right, so now it's gone one color there, one color there, one color there, one color there. And then again, another color stop, another color stop, another color stop. So now it's going to start our satin finish. And I don't know if I started to say it, but then got distracted. This actual design, when you purchase it, has all 3 styles. It has satin stitch. It has the satin stitch, it has the zigzag stitch, and has the bean stitch. So I think that's really cool when they offer all 3, because you might use them, differently for different projects that you do. Since this is an item that I intend on my nephew wearing literally until he's a senior in high school, I'm going to go with the satin stitch just for durability and sake of, of it lasting a little bit longer. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go all the way until that number is complete, because we're going to have that be one color. And then once it jumps to the next one, I went too far. I'm going to say stop again. Let's get some brighter colors. Pick a different color, say okay. It's going to again go all the way to the back. We're going to trace it all the way back, all the way around the 0 now with that red. And then when that's done, oop, went too far. Where is it now? Let's see. All right, we're going to pick another color. I want it to be a color. Again, it doesn't matter what color. I'm just trying to have it stand out a little bit more so we can see. All right, so 2, 0, and then 3 is going to be like a greenish color. Whoop. And when we get to the end of that one, we'll pick one last color. So we're going to say stop. And then let's pick like a blue. All right, so that looks perfect. So now you can see this is one color, this is another color, this is another color, and this is another color. So what's amazing about that is we can do 4 different pieces of fabric. And again, I didn't realize when I started that it wasn't going to be, it was just going to be one color. Now you could do it all in one color. You could leave it just as it's digitized, but I thought it'd be really cute for some pops of color to actually do 4 different pieces. All right, so now I'm just going to save it to my USB file, save as, and it's going to say William class save, and it's going to say it already exists. Do you want to replace it? And actually I do want to replace it because this is the one that I want to stitch out. All right, so I'm going to get my USB. So there you go. I think that's a really cool thing. I'm glad we got to do that, because that's a really good skill to have, to be able to do color stops and kind of change the way something is. All right, so let me plug us back in and we'll go from there. All right, so that added a few minutes to our time, but I think it's perfect, like I said, to learn how to do that. So I'm gonna actually close this out, go back to the start, select it again, since we have now altered it, bring up the right one, and perfect. I'm super happy about that. So we'll rotate that and say, okay. So now we're gonna get everything prepped and ready. So this is a Gildan shirt. I actually price these out to figure out where I could get them, for the least amount. And I can get these through some of my wholesale accounts that I have, but you guys, it was cheaper just to go to Hobby Lobby if you have one of those in your town. And it was just cheaper for me to go and purchase these all together. I only needed one size, which is great. Like, this is the only size that you offer in this. So it's nice. It's not like you're gonna have to stock all kinds of sizes, because that's what can be hard with blanks. But if you know you're gonna be selling these, then, you know, just grab a bunch of the large shirts. And it was easier for me to do that versus paying shipping on the other items to come to me. All right, so you guys know I like to print out my design in a Brilliance, and it's okay that this was the one prior to the color stops. That is not a big deal at all. This is just so we can center our item. So I'm going to take my measuring device here and center this across. And we are at 20 there, so slide it over a little bit. And I want it kind of higher up because when they're little, it needs to be seen. So having it kind of higher to the top is absolutely fine for this project. All right, so I'm going to pin this in place. Okay, so you guys have the no-show poly mesh in your supply box. So that is what we're going to be using. That's what I use on the back of all of my applique items. I chose to do a little bit larger. This design comes in several sizes. You choose what works best for you because it will look so cute regardless of what size you use. Just for the simple fact, like, even if it's a small design on there, you guys, I always have felt like if you're using a single needle, that doing a large shirt is easier because you can just kind of move it all away and make like a pool area where your item will be embroidering. It's the little like onesies that are harder because you can't, you know, manipulate it as much. So I buy my no-show poly mesh soft and sheer on a roll that's 12 inches long because it is like the ideal size for doing shirts. I don't waste as much. I'm just going to spray some spray adhesive on this. You might even opt to do fusible, but I don't use a lot of fusible products. I just use my spray adhesive. And so I actually put it on the back with my spray adhesive. I'm going to flip it over. And now I'm going to hoop. There's so many different ways that you can do things like this as far as how you choose to hoop it, what types of hoops that you want to use. So, you know, I hope just by watching you see one way that I do it, but it is not the only way for sure. I'm using my Durkee frame right now. Mighty hoops would work great for that as well. I've got those that are good for t-shirt size. All right, and I put it right into place there so you can see I've got it hooped nicely with the stabilizer. Tighten it up on my frame here. That's a good thing about Mighty hoops. You don't have to tighten them like that, but it works good. All right, and I'm just going to put it on my machine here. I'm going to center it using my grid that I have pinned on. And once I have it in place using my laser, I move it to that exact spot. I can take my design off. Now, I want my design because I need to come and cut these pieces. We're just going to need little tiny pieces, just enough for one number. So we don't need much. So let me go ahead and cut. I'm going to do it like that. Kind of get one piece for size. Then I can use that as my template. Man, I've cut this in some weird ways. Like, there isn't one flat side to it. There we go. All right. Definitely a lot of yellow coming up. And I've been getting back to school orders in. So you guys that have been making these items, you guys go ahead and start to make sure you have those listings up and that your SEO is good. You could even do back to school 2021. You could add that in one of your tags. But yeah, I've definitely, people are shopping. I have a lot of people favoriting those items, maybe not necessarily buying it the second, but they're favoriting it so they can come back to it. I think people are just aware that shipping is still not where we would wish it to be. So I think people have learned and are trying to just plan in advance so that things aren't last minute, thankfully. All right, so I've got my 4 little pieces that I'm be using. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add Heat and Bond Light to these items. Heat and Bond Light, again, in your supply box that you have there. It is what will allow us to be able to cut these numbers without fraying. I do a little light iron on the top, and I'm just going to cut 4 pieces that we will apply. It really, really is necessity. This is, there's certain ways that people like to cut corners, but I do not suggest cutting any corners when it comes to Heat and Bond Light for your applique projects. It's just so apparent when somebody hasn't used it, when you see their items. You can easily spot the items that someone did not use Heat and Bond Light on. You guys, if you have any questions, since you guys are not actually watching this with me live, please put them in the comments after this. Reach out to me in our Facebook group. I will answer any questions that you have. So even though we're not doing this at the exact same time, I am still available to answer any questions that you might have. All right, so I'm just making sure they're a little ironed first. That one's really wrinkly. Sometimes the way I keep my fabric, I think maybe isn't probably the best. I have them color coordinated in bins, but sometimes they just get so squished in there. And I don't know what I use this yellow for, where, I mean, it is just like wonky. So again, you choose what color combos that you want. I just think this will be cute the way I'm doing it for like primary colors, since, we kind of think of that with school, right? Okay, so that's all that we have to do to get ready. If you are going to be making these in bulk for your group, you can just have a bunch of these ready. You can do girl colors too if you wanted for a girl, since I know this is for my nephew. Primary I thought was fun, and primary really can be used for everybody. So I kind of like that too, when you don't have to have, different colored version. All right, so now I'm going to assign the colors. So I got to think about, I was going to do navy, yellow, orange, and red. So we'll do it in that order. All right, we're going to do navy, orange, yellow, red. Navy, orange, yellow, red. I'm trying to remember it in my head, and then go back and do navy, orange, yellow, red. And then for class of, I'm going to do in green. For the little hat, we'll do that in black. That's what a graduation hat should be in. The little tassel that hangs down, we'll do that in the yellow. And then the name, I can't decide, you guys. I think I'll do that in black. Or green. Maybe green to match it. I can change that at the end if I need to. So it's going to do the placement stitch for each real quick. So we're going to let that run through. And then we'll be ready to start. Oh wait. Normally it's placement, tack down, stitch hooks each one, but the way I did it, which you can really change it however you want, it's going to do the placement for all of them, and then we'll do the tack down, so that's fine. I I guess I really could have done that all in just one color. Try to work smarter, not harder. But I will save this, like I already did, but I'll save it to my computer as well. That way, when I go to make this design again, I can just literally pull up the file, and the only thing I have to change is the child's name. I won't have to go back and do the color stops because I will have saved that just the way I've already programmed it. I do that with all the shirts that I make. So if I do like a merged design, like with a birthday number and a mermaid, if I merge those two designs and I'm merging the number 4 for someone's birthday with a mermaid, or the number 3 with the mermaid, then I save those. So literally when someone orders that design again, all I have to do is go find mermaid number 3, pull it in, and just change the name. It saves so much time to save your files that way. So this shirt will be fun to do, you know, just a product lay on the ground, but the best picture that you're going to be able to have to sell this item is going to be having it on that kindergartner. So I'll see my nephew here for July 4th. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure I had it so that I could do a modeled shot with him in it, because again, that is going to be awesome. And what I might do is put one on my, you know, 13-year-old, and just show kind of, you know, through the years. So fun. Oh wait, I'm not paying attention. I'm talking to you guys. So now it's doing, where are you going? Where are you going? Now it's going to be doing the, I moved it with the stitch still without cutting it. Sorry. All right. So now we're going to be cutting these letters out. Oh, sorry. All right. And I'm going to reserve stop after that one. I should have put stops in there for... All right, so I'm going to cut that first one out. We hear you. Well, look at there. Live. Something. Okay, I've been having problems with this machine, and here you guys are seeing it first thing, or not first thing, but real time. This is so frustrating. Let me get my, something shifted and it's not where it should be. Oh, what a just complete bummer. You guys, it's just because this always happens when I'm in a rush. I have so many things that I need to be doing. I have to pick my son up from, one of my sons is doing like a lifeguard camp out at the beach, which is so cool. And one of my sons is doing a basketball camp, which is, again, so cool. Both of them are just half day. So I've got to be picking everybody up here in a little bit. I have my son's basketball game tonight to go to, which is actually an hour and a half away. My husband's out of town. My puppy is crazy. You know, it's just been one of those days, right? So what I'm doing now, for some crazy reason, this thing got out of line. It happens, it happens, it happens. So I'm just using my seam ripper and removing the piece that I just put down. Oh, wow. I should have noticed that when it was so close to the next number, but when I covered it with the fabric, I couldn't tell that it had moved over. Not until I was getting ready to cut it. I'm like, wait, why is there extra? So I'll just take these, you know, extra little stitches out. Luckily, it's just a, you know, a tack down. Now I did go through it twice, but still, it's not like this is a satin stitch I'm having to remove. It's just annoying. Annoying. Okay. Ugh. So let me make sure those stitches aren't going to show through. Remove those. The ones that are where the fabric will be really aren't a big deal because they will be covered here in just a minute. All right, beyond annoyed. But real world, isn't it? So now what I've got to do is cut another piece of navy. I don't want to use that same piece because that would not look good. Oh, you guys, I know we all have days like this. Today is a good day. Well, this just goes to show. Don't feel overwhelmed when these things happen to you and think that why can't you figure it out, because it happens to all of us. It really does. It really does. So just for that, you know, lesson alone, that's a good thing for you guys to see. This stuff happens when I'm doing stuff too, right? All right, so now I got to figure out why it bumped like that. So let me see. I'm going to go back one. So it looks okay for that standpoint. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know why it did that. I really don't. It's not making much sense. I don't know. Where did my piece go? I just dropped it, didn't I? Okay, now. I'll lift it up. Make sure. Really quick fix. And thankfully, again, it wasn't the satin stitch that we were having to remove stitches from, just a placement stitch. So cut this one out here. And then we'll get our next color on. I'm just gonna have to eyeball it each time just to make sure. I really don't know how that even happened. All right, so now we're doing orange for our next one. So let's get our orange. Don't forget to take your heat and bond light off the back. Put that in place over that stitch. Again, I'm just peeking. I want to make sure that we're where we want to be, where we need to be. All right, we'll reserve stop that again. We'll do our yellow and then we'll do our red, and hopefully no more issues with that. But honestly, real life, right? Real life scenario of something that, you know, can happen to anybody. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. the colors that you choose, the fabrics. I mean, you could use, you know, floral, any kind of pattern fabrics would be awesome too. I love the ones that have just, you know, a little bit of texture to them. Those always make for really cute designs. So with this 0 here, I'm going to cut it a little closer. I do have to cut the middle out. So what I do is I just bring it up with my really sharp scissors. Just give one little snip. Make sure you don't snip through the shirt. That you're just getting that top layer of fabric. But when you use these Fiskar scissors, they're so sharp that you don't really have to, you just pull it up just a itty bitty amount. And then they're so little, you can just slide it right through there to make sure you haven't gotten through to the shirt. All right, just cleaning those little edges up. And next color is yellow. I keep throwing my little pieces around. Come back. All right, need to hear it snap. All right, heard it snap. All right, taking my Heat and Bond light off the back of this, placing that over my 3. Making sure we haven't shifted again. Y'all, I'm paranoid about it now. Very good. Awesome. Okay, so now I have it stopping and I'm going to cut out my 3. So you could even start this tradition, you know, if you've got somebody that's in the 3rd grade. How cute. I mean, still, what a cuteness, you know, how much they're going to grow. I probably will do one for my son just because I just love taking these pictures. Something different that I didn't do with my older 2. He's going into 2nd grade, so I think still a precious age to put on this huge shirt and just see him grow into it. All right, so cutting around every bit of my 3. I like this yellow. All right. And we've got one more piece. And then after that, the machine takes over. There's nothing left that I have to do. So I love it when all of the applique work is at the very beginning, because then I can just let the machine take over and I can be starting to work on, you know, whatever next project that I have in store for today. So let me just make sure again that it doesn't move, it hasn't shifted. Make sure we're going in the right spot here for our last one. Looks good. So when you look at the amount of time, I have mine set at 1,000, so it's going full speed, and the first 5 minutes are dedicated to the tack down and placement. So it is a longer stitch out than some things, and again, I chose the satin. You don't have to use satin. You could certainly do the bean stitch, or you could do the zigzag. But my thoughts on it, or, you know, the idea is this shirt is literally worn for the next 12 years, right? 12, 13 years. So I wanted to give as much, you know, the satin stitch I just feel like will hold up longer in the long run with washes and whatnot. Maybe you don't ever wash this. I don't know. I guess if you're just literally putting it on for one picture, there's really no reason to wash it. So again, that's completely up to you. But my point being is this is a 35-minute stitch out. The first 5 minutes are dedicated to, you know, what we're doing right here. Doing the tack down, the placement and the tack down. And then the other 30 minutes, literally, you just set it and forget it. Get that little piece out in the middle of the 4. And then that's it. So guys, this is Applique 101, really. And you even saw me have a, blooper. But again, that's real world, absolutely real world of embroidery. You kind of always have to be ready. People will say they walk away from their projects. I don't walk away. I mean, I like to stay in the same room. And now there are certain things that I if I'm going to bed and I know it's a longer stitch out and it's one color, I'll pop it on there and go to bed while it's running and then come down in the morning and hopefully it's done, or who knows, a bobbin might have come out. I still have one little piece of blue thread that I would love. Oh, there we go. I just didn't pull it off to begin. So here you go. This is the applique that we're doing. Just like that. And now I'm going to let the machine take over. I'm going to let the machine do its thing, and I will post a picture of what this looks like when I'm done. I think this is so adorable. Such an easy thing for you to sell. People love, getting their kids ready for, school and just the cuteness overload that it all entails. And it's really an inexpensive project for you to do. The Gildan shirts really don't cost a lot. A lot of these you could honestly use scrap. You could do every single one of them could be different that you do. They don't all have to be alike. But it's just a really cute project. I think it's amazing for back to school. Definitely something that I would suggest putting in your Facebook group, your Etsy shop, or wherever you sell your items. I chose 2034. In just a minute, it's going to say class of and then the child's name. I will post a picture to show you the final product, but have fun making yours. Again, I know we're not doing this together live today, but I know most of you watch these on replay anyway. But just know if you have any questions, certainly email me, put them in our Facebook group, or put them in the comments below, and I'll make sure I get back to all of those this evening. All right, bye guys. Happy stitching. Good luck with your product. I'm gonna go stick this on the machine and let it do its thing. I did enjoy showing you guys how to do that color stop. That was perfect. Just want to make sure it started off. Once it starts off in the right place, then I don't fear that it's going to change. So there it goes. Awesome. You guys, happy stitching. I look forward to seeing your products. Please post them in the Facebook group, because I love seeing how you've taken one design and made it your own. That's the fun about all of this, right? You can, we can do something together, but all of ours literally can look different in the end. So happy stitching. Hope you'll have a good day. Yay.